Ladies and gentlemen, the pick of a lifetime just went down. A decades-old hoarder house chock full of sealed video games was discovered and picked through. And I, ladies and gentlemen, was not there for it. No, at the time I was in, I think, Barcelona, and despite multiple people in my city messaging me about this place, I couldn't be there. No! No! But my friend Daniel was able to get there, I think, the first day of the sale, and you saw me purchase all this stuff from him yesterday, which he got there, and my other friends, Korbin and Aimee, got there the next day. And not only did they get footage of their entire buying experience, but they invited me to go over there today and buy a bunch of it from them for cold, hard cash. Now this pick, when I tell you that it was the pick of a lifetime, it's just, you know what? I'm gonna insert a little teaser clip in here because it's gonna be much easier to show you than to tell you.
And this is just absolutely, like, these games are factory sealed, people.
And done, that's it. That's all you guys are getting in this video. If you wanna see the rest of the full video of that pick, you're gonna have to go check out the Cheap Finds Gold Mines channel. But as for us, right now, we get to come in like the opportunistic scavengers that we are and snatch up Korbin and Aimee's sloppy seconds while paying a premium to do it. But we do have the benefit of not having to dig through all that disgusting trash, so I don't really mind that they're upcharging me a little bit. Oh, but also before I leave, shoutouts to what is easily the sickest shirt in my wardrobe right now. I mean, come on folks, you get to see me in this bad boy all day.
What's a poo?
It's gonna be a good video. All right, folks, so we're here now in front of the game throne. Ooh. It's an absolutely crazy number of games, and I have to ask you guys a question that I asked you before because I thought the answer was so interesting. What percentage do you think of the overall games in that hoarder house do you think you guys were able to come away with?
Definitely less than 20%.
Yeah.
So we're kind of judging that based on value. It's definitely over $100,000 video game collection. And right here, we got roughly $20,200 in estimated market value.
That is insane. Yeah. And I also have to ask, because you guys, this stuff here is what you are pretty willing to part with, but you had some games that you're looking to either keep for the collection or send into grade yourself, and I'm really interested what those titles look like. Do you have those handy?
Yeah, let's grab those real quick.
All right, here they are.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
It's okay. It's on like $400 worth of value right there. We're good. We're still good.
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry about it. It's still sealed.
Okay, well, there you go.
Okay, so we got a couple sealed Twisted Metal 2s. I'm surprised. I mean, you guys were digging these out of the rubble and they still look like this. That's crazy. And how about some of these others here? Whoa, okay, we're gonna have to go through these. So we've got Resident Evil Director's Cut, also Greatest Hits, super nice. Resident Evil Nemesis here. Oh man, that Resident Evil on the GameCube, almost always gold. Zelda Wind Waker, wow. Yeah, that's a nice seal too. I can't believe how nice a lot of these seals are. Are there any that were like kind of torn up or anything?
Yeah, actually right here on this chip lip, you can see,
yeah.
On the side, it was a little bit just because there were mice and other critters in there.
Someone might have been chewing on this little guy.
Yeah, but she's clean now, so.
Yeah, and some more Resident Evils. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4 other Resident Evils. Fire Emblem, unfortunately not sealed, but still an amazing title, even unsealed. It's like a $300+ game. Crazy haul. How much value do you think is just like in these sealed games right here?
Oh
Any
my
idea?
gosh, I have no idea. Honestly, Korbin, didn't you price chart all these first?
Yeah. We are, obviously we put in a price chart as a seal condition.
Yeah.
But a lot of these we do plan on getting graded.
Right.
So since this is the player's choice, it's worth, it says $200, but I think we get a lot more, you know, at seal condition. But
sure,
this could end up being like a $1,500, $2,000 game after being graded. So, you know, the market is new and people are paying crazy prices and not really sure what we can get for this, but I mean,
it's thousands. It's in the thousands very safely for this stack right here.
I'll say maybe $4,000. So let's just put it.
All right, so before I dive in and start pricing all this stuff and hopefully leaving with as much of it in my IKEA bags as possible, I'd love to hear just like the shortened version, because it's a long story, of how you guys actually came across all these games, because I think that's maybe the most interesting part of this whole experience.
We got on Instagram at like 7 a.m. and a guy that we deal with locally who buys and sells from us said, hey man, there is a house that is a hoarder home and there's sealed video games everywhere. He was like, I'm working today so I can't be there, so I want you all to go and get as much as you can. And we didn't really know what exactly he meant, because we hear hoarder home and we're like, oh, just, you know, just dirty home. But so we showed up and what we saw was just crazy.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. There was stuff everywhere. Like, you could not walk without stepping on something. And that something was
and the
normally
roof
video games.
like caved in at some point,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So it was like insulation, like dirt, rain, who knows what.
Yeah.
Everything. We were literally walking on video games. You could hear them crunch under our feet. And it was sad, but it was
Painful.
So sad.
Yeah.
But there's no, I mean, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's wild. So you came away with all this stuff. It was in 2 different loads. What did they end up charging you for it?
So the first lot that we bought was $400, and then the guy ended up bringing a truck bed full of video games, and we did a blind offer of $450 plus another $20 for 3 more totes of video games. So about $870.
Well, semi-blind, right? Because you saw a
Semi-blind.
couple little gems in there.
I did. I saw
Yeah.
2 video games, and that was enough for us to make an offer on the list.
So, and again, the entire videos are already posted of that experience on their channel. So if you want to watch it live happen, first person, that's where you can find it. But right now, we're gonna hop in, and I think what I'll probably do, since there's so many games, like what we did last time was just kind of go one by one by one. It might be easier this time for me to just kind of add it up and maybe go by stack.
Yeah,
If that makes sense,
Yeah.
like I'll offer you this much for this stack, yes or no, move on, and that way we're not having to literally do hundreds of offers in this single video. But I think right now, I might just cut to a little time lapse. Okay, so stacks number, well, this is pretty much stack number 1 because I factored it all into one. What I came up with was 156. Is that in the range you were expecting? 156.
Which Harry Potter is that?
You can keep it if you want. It's worth only a few bucks. No, it's not. It's not the like $70 one. Yeah, Chamber of Secrets, I think it is. I can tell you, I think the highest dollar one was a PSP game, Jeanne d'Arc, that is worth like I think 50 or 60. There was a good number in here that were like $2 or $3.
Yeah, see, these tiles are all brand new to me, so
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to process. I don't know.
No, if you want to take a closer look too, that's totally fine. You don't have to answer now.
We've done a lot of deals together, so I trust you.
Okay.
156.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I'll put that in, and in my phone I have a note that is just by stacks, so we won't have to mentally keep track of everything. I'll just put it in here. So we've filmed videos together before. We get all kinds of grandstanders in the comments. From what I saw in the last one, about half of them were like, Caleb, you're stupid for paying so much, and the other half were like, these guys are stupid for not selling them on their own. So cast your votes in the comments this time, which one of us is stupid if you want. But what were you gonna say about that?
Yeah, so first of all, we paid $870 for the entire lot. We had another buddy come over. He's already spent $975 with us.
So you guys are in the profit already.
So everything here
With
is,
like, this is pure profit. That's crazy.
and he only bought about 20 games. So
Yeah.
everything here is pure profit. We do not sell on Amazon, people. We don't sell on Amazon.
156 for this, and let's keep going. Don't worry guys, I'm not going to stop after every stack. I'll give you guys more periodic updates as we're going along. Alright, so right now we're talking about these two little beauties right here, Illbleed. On the Dreamcast, these games are quite expensive. The most recent solds that I'm seeing on eBay are all between like $200 and $300. Yeah, pretty much across the board between $200 and $300. So these are a couple of valuable little titles right here. We're gonna see if we can come to an agreement on these. He did note that they're going for like in the 500 range on Amazon, or at least listed on there, but the sales rank is so high it kind of clues you in that they're not selling at that price. So this is the kind of thing I would have to put on eBay. So knowing what they go for, you don't have any other like Dreamcast cases, do you? I'd probably swap that out for this guy. It's brokey. Knowing what they're going for, I think I could be at 130 a piece. What do you guys at home think? He's chewing on it. Is 130 a piece fair if they're going for, I saw between like 210 and 280. I'll play the music in the background.
Yeah, let me actually hold off on those. So
I'm crying on the inside. But we did say ahead of time, I mean, these things have such value. It's probably harder to let them go at a discount. So I understand.
yeah, because that's just like the way I see it, that's 3 minutes of work, picturing and posting.
I get it. And they've done a good job also of with the other negotiations, understanding that like, you know, there's value in not doing the work, but on something like that, you know, it's kind of hard to just like sacrifice that much profit in order to like have somebody else do it, even when it's not all that much work to do it. So
I'm not a definite no, just we'll put it to the side, let me think on it.
okay, we'll see how high our grand total gets, then maybe you'll be feeling a little bit more like you want to sell. So anyway, I'm gonna get to these two stacks now, and we're gonna keep the money flowing. All right, so just finished figuring this little stack right here, and you guys know I'm always looking for like nostalgic, usually Disney kinds of PS2 games, or sorry, PS1 games, because I played those a ton as a kid, and they always just bring me back. I found a few of them in this stack that I wanted to show you guys. I can't remember ever seeing this one before. El Dorado on the PlayStation 1. That's not Disney, that's DreamWorks, I'm pretty sure. Also, Mulan, what is this? Story Studio? Can't remember ever finding that one before. Both of those are worth absolutely nothing, but still cool to find. And then this one's only worth next to nothing. Little Mermaid 2, which also, I remember watching this movie like back in, I don't know when it was. I had no idea that there was a game made on it, so I thought that was kind of cool. I also feel just like reclining on the couch here with my big old Mountain Dew, like I'm just game hunting in luxury right now. Like Korbin and Aimee literally dug through piles of trash for this stuff, and I'm just like kicking back, enjoying myself. It's great.
Did you drink my Mountain Dew?
What I came up with for this stack was 142. I don't think there are any super high dollar gems in there, but you can take a look. Oh, and also these.
You got a deal, brother.
Awesome. And let's go ahead over here and take a look at what the box, actually, I don't know how much we should really put, how much more we should put in this box. It's already getting kind of heavy.
Oh,
we may have to switch to IKEA bags at this point. All right, so this lovely little stack right here just finished tallying at $101, including the iconic Space Chimps, inevitably a terrible shovelware game based on a terrible movie. So who wouldn't want to own that?
Oh.
Seeing anything in there that trips your triggers?
Trips my triggers.
That's a phrase, right? People say that. Trips your trigger? I think it is. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a Midwest thing. All right, 246. Deal.
Yeah, I'll give you a deal. 246. We'll do it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this stack ended up 109. Yeah, I couldn't really find a ton good in this one.
I agree. I don't see much of anything. Yeah, 109 is good.
All right, cool. Okay, we've got 88 and 206. This one, most of the value was in the Mario Baseball, and then this one had a like decent number of like mid-range titles.
Oh yeah, see that F-Zero in there. You said how much for this one?
206.
206.
We're good.
Sweet. 218. This one wasn't a ton. I think it's worth probably like 30, so it would have been like 15.
So does 203 work with helicopters?
That works for me. All right, are you ready for this one? 114 for these bad boys. The biggest ones of note in these stacks, I would say, were the Mortal Kombat Shaolin in this stack and Cold Fear, weirdly enough, in this stack. 114.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. All right, our last load of unsealed games is 119. Highlights, to be honest, being Dino Crisis 3 and Mario Kart Wii.
That's not a good sign.
There weren't a lot. I'm not gonna lie. There were not a lot. Ratchet and Clank was pretty good.
So let's do this thing!
All right, folks. So now that this and that box and these bags are all coming home with me, we have arrived at a price for those, the grand total of which I think is in the mid 2000s. We've been keeping track according to the stack, so we haven't added everything up. It's now time to get into the realm of sealed games, including these little beauties down here, which is what we're gonna start with. That's some of the older stuff, but we've got a good amount of like PS2 and original Xbox, a lot of PSP here, some PS3, so these we're not gonna be doing by stack. We'll be going onesie twosie, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so if we're starting out with some of these older ones, did you guys have any ideas of what you were looking for on these? Chicken Run,
Yeah,
very nice.
At least $1,000 game right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
might have to pass on that. We have Spider-Man, C12. Oh, again, folks, with the Disney, 101 Dalmatians 2, not to be mistaken with 102 Dalmatians 1.
What?
Yeah.
And then Casper and Flushed Away, another solid animated gem there. So what was the thought process? What were you pricing highest, lowest? Because, I mean, the lower dollar sealed stuff, I'm just kind of like, eh,
Yeah.
you know? So, like, these, I probably couldn't, like you might honestly want to just keep these in the collection rather than what I could reasonably offer on them, because I'm probably getting, like, maybe $30 a piece.
Okay.
So would you be more likely to just keep those? I don't know if you guys really collect sealed or not.
We do collect sealed, but we're also keeping in mind that we're going to do a trade.
Okay, so these might be better trade bait.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so we'll put these over here. Flushed Away, probably same thing for me. What do we have here? Chicken Run, Plasma Sword.
Plasma Sword's a more
Plasma
expensive
Sword,
one.
yeah, that's a solid one. Chicken Run, kind of meh also. So we're left with Plasma Sword and Suikoden. Did you have any ideas on values for those? 200 for the pair? I think that'd probably be worth it. I mean, there's a little bit of bending back there. That's not the end of the world. A couple small breaks. What I'm wondering about is that normal? It sounds like a loose disc. So some of the stuff that I'm looking at for these is like there's a little bit of warping in the plastic around the sticker for this guy, but they do have the Y folds. It doesn't look like a reseal to me necessarily, although I'm definitely far from an expert. There is a little bit of like case damage on like some cracking in the back there, and normally that's not a huge deal because you can just switch the cases out, but that's a little harder to do when it's sealed. I love it. Honestly, so to me, part of the game is like the education of it. So if you wanted, like, even with it loose and everything, if you wanted to do like 150 for the pair, if that's reasonable, like I would do that just to educate myself.
Sell a sealed game that has a loose disc in it and possibly get a return or possibly get 200 out of it.
Well, I don't want you to do it hesitantly. I want you to be happy. So what if we, like, if I did like 170, would that be a number? Because I bump it up 20 just to like make you feel better about it. Is that cool with you guys?
Yes.
We've got one strong yes and one still kind of like, I don't know. Yes. Okay, we've got two strong yeses. Okay, so here's the update. I went through the PSP games. These are the ones, they're a decent number of like lower value, and you guys sold off some of the sealed PSP stuff already, didn't you? So it kind of makes sense that that's what we're left with. Most of these are like, they're all sealed, but they're like $25 or less. Over here, these I think were probably resealed. You can tell there aren't Y folds on most of the edges. And that's, I don't think they said, the collector didn't seem like the type to reseal stuff. There was probably a local game store that he was buying from that just any pre-owned stuff, they just put a seal on. Some game stores do that for security. But this little stack here was my maybe pile. Anything that I can find in this sealed stack that is over $100 I'd love to be coming home with. These are between like 50 and 100. Most of them are like in the $60 range or so in sealed condition. And I may send some of them in for grading to VGA just because, I don't know, I want to figure out if it's worth it and I'm willing to pay for the experiment. So on something like these, I could be at like 30 bucks a piece. I don't know if that's worth it to you guys. I figured after fees and shipping, you're probably gonna get like 45 or so a piece. So up to you guys if that's worth it for you. You've got Crisis Core, Deadhead Fred, Jak and Daxter, God of War, and Medieval Resurrection.
We might just use that as trade bait, honestly.
These guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll shed a tear about that later on, but for now, gotta get to these other stacks. Okay, so approximately 5 hours later, we are finally done with the calculations. All of the unsealed games are coming home with me officially. Was much more choosy with the sealed stuff just because they've got another out for a lot of their sealed items. So we were a little bit more selective. This is the stuff that we did end up coming to a good number on. We've got probably two of the better games, Plasma Sword and Suikoden. You guys saw the negotiation for that. Also Puppeteer, Overlord 2, White Knight Chronicles 2, Panzer Dragoon Orta, Spy vs. Spy, Otogi 2, Max Payne, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, Half-Life 2, Time Splitters, Fatal Frame 2, Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer, Pac-Man, and Sly Cooper for a grand total. Are you guys ready for this?
Oh yeah.
Of the whole day of calculating $3,185.
Not mad about it.
Not mad about it.
And keep in mind, at this time, they're already into the profit on this deal. That $3,000+ is 100% profit.
Great.
How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty happy.
yeah,
Go buy some pit bulls.
it was worth 3 days of cleaning for about $3,000. So we
No
averaged
kidding.
about $1,000 a day for cleaning.
Yeah.
So I'll do that any day of the week. And then we
Yeah,
got-
that's the other part that we didn't talk about is like this stuff was all filthy and you guys literally spent the last 3 days. This was, when did you get all this? Saturday? Is that right? Or was it like a week
No,
ago?
we got it.
we got it Friday. then
Friday?
went down,
Yeah.
Okay, so basically in most of that interim, you guys have been Cloroxing this entire, well, this smaller stack, all of this stuff and everything behind me, which was all just completely filthy.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
It was pretty gross.
Yeah.
But worth it.
There's gonna probably be a good deal in the future that those will find a good home with.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But if you want to see that and you want to see the original video, like I said, check out the Cheap Finds Gold Mines channel. It will be linked below. All the games that are worth looking for, that are solid like BOLO titles or be on the lookout titles from all of this stuff as I'm processing it through the next like probably few weeks, if I'm being honest. I'm going to post those with where you can expect to maybe find them in the Discord as always. The link to that will be in the description. And one last thing before we close this video out.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to say, Caleb, obviously he's a good friend of ours, but he's just a very honest and respectable businessman. He won't lowball you, and because of that, we gave him our contacts of the other guys who picked through the horde with us, and they have some absolute grail sealed video games. So it just goes to show, be good, be honest, and don't lowball people, and you get more inventory.
You heard it here first, folks. I'm not a lowballer. What can you say, despite what some people will often tell you in the comment section? I'm planning on maybe just making a circuit, because you guys are actually the second people that were at that pick that I've now done a deal with secondhand.
Yep.
So maybe, and you said that there were what, like maybe 6 other people / units that were there picking, looking for video games. So 2 down, 4 to go.
And we got a good selection here, but the people that are there before us, get ready to drop some money.
Right.
But it's grail video game stuff. So.
Right, and people, I'm trying to develop a reputation that like I am willing to drop some solid money on stuff that I do think is like good, clean inventory that I can move quickly and make money on. I want people to know that like I'm treating them fair. So if you're out there and you were at that hoarder house, feel free to hit me up on Instagram or email, and I'll come by and give you up to $3,000 as well. Maybe more. Who knows? Some people might have come away with more than this, although that's honestly hard to imagine.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
And until next time.
We will catch you guys on the flip.
We're still good.